on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now.
So we've made a big mistake and we can't ignore it any longer now that we're back here in Cabarete, which happens to be our favorite place. We have to be honest with ourselves. Last year we traveled all around the world trying to find another Cabarete, and well, we kind of failed. It took us going all around the globe to realize this is the place for us. This is our spot.
So this video today is really going to be about comparing the pros and cons of traveling full time, going around the world, versus staying in one place for a longer period. So if you happen to be new around here, my name is Anna and Trevor is behind the camera. We'll give you a little bit of background information. So we came here to Cabarete basically 2 years ago, and we spent 8 or 9 months here and totally fell in love. It became probably our favorite place on the planet, but we did spend a great deal of time here. We are travelers, that is our job. So we decided to go around the world, or at least travel like a lot more extensively. And we ended up going fully around the world. We went to Europe, we were in Greece and Italy, then we went to Thailand, Vietnam, we were in Japan, South Korea, and then back in the US and home to Canada again. So we literally went around the world. And our goal was to kind of to find places that we love as much as this place, but we just didn't succeed.
So it's not that we didn't enjoy those countries, we just named off some really amazing places right there. The thing is, we didn't spend enough time in each of them. We tried a month or two in Greece. That was the closest we come, but we realized that now that we're getting a little older, we want to go slower, and we're looking for a home base that kind of checks every single box, and Cabarete does it for us. That's just it, if I'm being completely honest. We were close in some of those other places, but there's just something about this place, something about the DR on the North Coast specifically, that just keeps calling us back. Someone's out here playing in the water.
It's so nice. It is funny when you do travel the world and you experience all these different oceans, different seas, you kind of forget how warm the Caribbean is. This water never gets cold. It's like bath water.
I know, you know, it's funny. This is one of the perfect swimming days in Cabarete.
It is, I know. Every time we go to film, it ends up being the perfect beach day. So you might be saying to yourselves, like, why did you leave Cabarete in the first place if you love it here so much? Well, we are infected with wanderlust. Like, forever we will continue to travel around the world and visit new places and probably visit some old places as well that we've been to before. We will continue to travel, but we kind of want to make this our home base. We're just going back to like that year of travel that we just completed. Basically, like, we got stuck at home like all of you guys during COVID, and then we were here in one place basically for 8 or 9 months, and then we just like had the opportunity to start traveling again, and we kind of got a little too excited. We wanted to see everything at once. We wanted to make up for lost time, and then we just ended up doing way too much stuff. So in the future, yes, absolutely, we're gonna spend a lot of time here, and then in between here in Canada, our home, or where we're from, we will definitely do like slower, more trips around the world, but just not as many places at once.
The funny thing is, when we were on that adventure around the world, we kept comparing everything to the here. Everything was compared to Cabarete.
Not on purpose.
No, we just naturally found ourselves in conversations about, oh, we kind of missed this about Cabarete, oh, Koh Samui is almost perfect, but it's just missing this one thing, and that was distance. It's just really far across the world, but we just kept going into that, huh?
Yeah, and one thing we definitely did not find anywhere, and I'm curious if it exists really anywhere in the world, but the way all the restaurants here that you can kind of see behind us are set up right on the beach. There's like probably 20 restaurants that you can sit at a table, put your feet in the sand, and just sit on the beach. And there's some places that have like maybe a couple of tables like that, but there's not really a beach like this that we found anywhere.
This is hard to find, and you guys can see I'm moving the camera here. These are all restaurants, and there's like a kilometer of them, and then if you go further, there's more. So yeah, it's a really special place. We just love that the tables are right in the sand.
Right in the sand.
Well, this should give you a better idea how the restaurants are set up here. So we're just right off the beach. You have tables in the sand, and there's like this big walkway of so many different restaurants. They're all pretty good too.
They are, most of them I would say are pretty good. You have to come here and try the different ones out. I feel like everyone has a different opinion on all the places here, but one thing we can probably all agree on, as great as it is to put your feet in the sand, most of the better restaurants are off the beach. So speaking of places off the beach, we have come to a little restaurant called Pho King. It's a little Vietnamese place. We have a lemonade. I also have my fan here because it's a little hot in this alleyway. There's not much of a breeze. I highly recommend, even if you look weird, carry one in your purse.
You don't look weird. It looks natural, doesn't it? You look very posh.
Yeah.
All right, now I got the fan. How do I look with it? It's cooling me off. That's all that matters. But you guys probably know a big part of travel for us is the food. I bet it's a big part of travel for all of you as well. And one of the things about Cabarete is the food's really good. We're about to get some Vietnamese food, and we're actually surprised. We've been here before once, and we couldn't believe how close it is to the food in Vietnam. And well, you're about to see it.
So we each got the banh mi lunch special. They have this every day at lunchtime. Of course, it has a banh mi. It has a little bit of a soup there and the lemonade as well. Banh mi, if you've never had one before, is basically a Vietnamese sandwich. So you have a French baguette, and then inside this time we have chicken. She has a chicken or veggie option here, and I think there's some like carrots, cilantro, there's probably some yummy sauce on there. Sometimes there's some red chilies in there, so be prepared for that. Enough talking, let's actually try it.
You guys probably noticed that it's a little loud on the street.
This is probably maybe my favorite sandwich here in Cabarete. I love the bread. The bread is absolutely perfect. It's soft but like chewy at the same time, so you kind of have to like pull it apart, but it's so perfect. And chicken, a little bit spicy, some really nice flavors going on. I don't even know what kind of sauce she's putting in there, but it's so good. And we get a little bit of like crunch from those veggies.
This thing is absolutely unreal, you guys. I can't get enough of it. If you're in Cabarete, you have to come and try this. I promise. It's very close, if not exactly like the real Vietnamese banh mi. Now let's talk more about living in a place for a while. One of our favorite parts is we get to find our favorite restaurants and keep coming back. Remember, we're not here for 1 week, coming to 2 places. Heck, we're not even here for a month. We are here for many, many months. We basically live here now at least for like 8 months a year. So we find our favorite restaurants, we find our favorite beaches, and we love it. What we found last time when we went around the world is 1 month wasn't quite long enough. And I know some of you might be like, come on. It is, but just as we're getting into like the end of week 3 and into week 4, we're finally starting to find our favorite restaurants. We're finding our people that we want to hang out with. We're finding our local hotspots. So it's never quite a month, and that's on us. That's why we made the mistake. We should have stayed longer in some of those places, and that's why we're back here to stay for a very long time. All right, we're back out in the wild streets of Cabarete, huh?
Yeah, if there's anything we know about this main street here, it can get a little bit loud, and then I have to yell a little bit more than normal. I usually don't have that loud of a voice, so I have to really bring it up. The cars and the motorbikes here are really, really loud. But what we wanted to talk about just while we're on our way to our next location is our group trip. You guys probably know by now.
What's that? Motorbike. Okay, group trip.
That we are doing a group trip to Greece in September 2024. Greece is our other favorite place other than this. It's like our, I don't know if I want to say our second favorite place. We love Greece, we love it here. There are 2 favorite places. A goal of ours is to definitely do some group, like lots of group trips coming up in the future. We'd love to do at least one or two a year. But the big thing on that is that the first one really has to be a success in order for us to do more. So, if you guys are remotely interested in coming with us to Greece, it's going to be the Crete. Just, we will have a link down in the description, but also feel free to reach out, send us an email, send us a DM if you have any questions at all.
Yeah, it's next September 2024, and we might be able to get people a little bit of a discount if they reach out.
Yeah, so again, if you're remotely interested, if you think it's in your budget and your timeline, all of those things, if you have any questions, just send us a message and maybe we can get you a little discount.
Well, we've come over to Vagamundo, which is one of our favorite coffee shops in town. As you can see, it's very beautiful inside, and it's probably the most trendy coffee shop you're gonna find on the whole north coast of the DR. Got myself a cold brew here, con leche with some milk, just to get a bit of a pick-me-up. But you know what's funny? This place, this coffee shop, is one of the most asked questions. When you guys reach out to us, you're like, where is this place? I have to come here. It looks like somewhere in Bali or something like that. The good news is, it's right in the center of town.
Not only is it one of the most attractive coffee shops in town, also some of the best coffee. I think Trevor said we got cold brew. So good. I got almond milk in mine. But let's go back to one of these mistakes that we made traveling full-time over the last year. One of the big things is that because we went to so many places and we were jumping around so much, we inevitably ended up spending a lot more money. We've noticed here, like just being here probably 2 months now in the Dominican Republic, we've already saved so much. We're just not spending nearly as much because we're just paying rent, we're going out to eat here and there, but that's really our main expenses. We haven't really traveled anywhere, we haven't booked any flights, and that stuff, even when you're doing it on a budget like we do, like we are really careful about not spending tons on flights. We travel on low budget carriers, whatever, low cost carriers all the time. We don't do expensive things, but it somehow just adds up when every 2 weeks, every month, you're booking that, you're traveling places, you're taking buses, you're taking trains. It just gets really expensive even when you're trying not to spend that much money. So really nice to be in a place for a bunch of months and be able to save a little bit of money for once.
Now, because we do have a base here in Cabarete, we are going to be traveling around the DR some more. Don't worry, we just spent the last month or two here just kind of relaxing for once. It actually feels really good to be in one spot. But we'll be going to some different locations, some that we've been to before, some new ones. Now, if you guys have any recommendations on where we should go, first go back and check our videos, then tell us where we should go if we haven't been there yet. It's gonna be so much fun. We got some big plans, and we have some friends coming as well. More friends are gonna be here soon, and I think some of you are gonna recognize them. We're now back at our apartment, and we promise to show you guys this place soon. In the next video, we will give you a full tour. I know we've been kind of teasing you. You might be able to see inside there. You saw the pool area already. But one thing we wanted to talk about, one of the super pros, the ultra pros of Cabarete for us, is the community. The community is just, it's like no other. Unless you spend time here, it's hard to know exactly what I mean. Everybody gets along. There's a good mix of expats, and there's also locals. We know expats and we know locals, and we consider them all our friends. It's what we love the most. Some of the other things, and you've heard us say this in videos, but we absolutely love how we don't need a car here in Cabarete. I mean, sure, if we want to go do an excursion or drive to Sosua, yes, we could, but we could take local transportation. But for us, Cabarete is perfect because we can walk absolutely everywhere and get anything we need, and we don't need a car. And that was one of the things while we were traveling around the world. It was hard to find. It's really hard to find like a town that has enough restaurants and enough amenities and grocery stores. Of course, you got the people, you have a beach, and we don't need that car. We came very close in Koh Samui. We absolutely love that island in Thailand, but it wasn't quite there for us. We also came pretty close to Naxos in Greece, and that was, I'd say, the closest we came to kind of the feeling and the vibe here in Cabarete. But it is one of our favorite things. We don't need to have a car. We can get anything we want, and the people are absolutely amazing.
Another major pro here for us is that we are literally like 30 minutes from the Puerto Plata airport. Very convenient there. But not just that, when we're traveling in, say, Europe or especially Asia, to get home is such an ordeal. So if there was ever an emergency, our parents are getting older, you know, we have lots of family. So if we ever had to get home like in a pinch from Asia, it would take literally days, especially to get everything booked. It would probably cost like thousands of dollars. Here we know we can easily catch a flight probably the next day. We can fly to the US if we had to and get home from there. And it would only take a matter of hours rather than days.
So we touched on a lot of subjects in this video, but there's one thing we want you guys to know for sure. We're not done traveling or anything like that. We're still gonna travel around the world. Just this is home base now. This is home, and we'll travel in between here and Canada. We'll still hit up lots of places. We'll check out new continents. We'll check out new countries, but we are gonna go a little slower while we're here in the DR.
And we know that we can't please everyone. Some of you love our Cabarete videos and you just want to watch these, and you don't really watch us as we travel around the world. And then for others of you, you're probably like, I'd like to see you going to different places. So we know that, you know, some of you love this, some of you love that, and we'll continue to do all of it.
Yeah, we will. It's funny, any other YouTuber that creates videos would know, like, the minute sometimes you go to a new country, like, not everybody follows you there. Some countries, like, say, the Philippines, if you're there, the people that are in the Filipinos only want to watch Philippine videos. So it's interesting to be a YouTube creator. So we're still going to try to do it all because we do have the wanderlust bug. We are travelers at the end of the day. It's just we're getting a bit older and we do want to go a little slower, and it just took us a year of kind of bouncing around to realize that.
To realize how important that is for us, for sure.
Now, if you guys got this far in the video and you're like, who the heck are you guys rambling on? It's Trevor and Anna.
You did really well if you don't know who we are.
Delightful travelers. Hit subscribe, hit like, leave us a comment, do all the things. It just helps us out a lot. Remember, we have a group trip coming up. If you're really into our videos, we do have a Patreon, or you can join the channel, and that just supports us, helps us to create these videos. Honestly, if you guys weren't watching, we wouldn't even be doing this. We wouldn't be on YouTube, and we all wouldn't know each other, would we?
Yeah, it's a lot more work than you think.
Yeah, oh my, we spend a lot of time doing this, but hey, it's our thing. It's a lot of fun.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Cabarete, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.